Hello and welcome to another one of ADemonic reviews. My name is ADemonic Wizard on Twitch, ADemonicShadow for literally everything else. This is a review on Among the Sleep, just recently released on the PS4. I also believe it's on PC, and it's been on there for a while, but it was finally ported over to PlayStation 4, and this game did have a lot of promise, but for being a very, not necessarily very scary, but a very good, or at least a very good basic horror game, or something like that, or at least a good scary game. Not necessarily like Outlast, I would sort of say. Like Outlast was I wouldn't say it would be that extreme. I didn't think this game would be that scary, like Outlast, where people just didn't play it because it was too scary, but somewhat close to it. So the story of the game is you play as a 2-year-old boy traveling around with your teddy bear. You can even get the feel that this game is going to bring in some, some scary moments, some very, good horror atmosphere and everything like that, just from like the music, the title screen, and everything like that. Like it looks like this is going to be, something where there's going to be a few frightening things and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it fails to deliver on that promise. Now, one of the things I did want to highlight here, just before we necessarily get into the game itself, what I'm going to do is break down into story, gameplay. I'm going to have story, gameplay, online graphics, any type of other things that are worth mentioning, the bad, and then it should be, should you buy it, and if so, when you should buy it. Now, the story of the game, not the most complex story. If anything, there's barely a story. I wouldn't say it's like an average story, like a 5, but it definitely could have been better. But it was definitely disappointing, maybe a little bit below average. But the story, like the story of the game, whatever. I don't know. I don't fully understand the story because the game has a bad way of telling the story, so I can't really explain it, and that's, once again, not a good thing on the game's part. It's his mother. Today he's a 2-year-old. It's his birthday. He gets a teddy bear. He goes discovering the world. The only really story parts of the game are in the beginning, the first chapter, the last chapter, and the prologue. Those are only times where I felt like they actually told some type of story or added more onto the story elements of the game. But outside that, I don't know. Moving on to gameplay. At least from the control scheme, this game looked like it had, like, it was going to be pretty, not necessarily pretty and interactive, but I did like the elements that the game had with its gameplay. Like, you hug your teddy bear, and it makes your teddy bear that you get when you hug them, it produces a light. I thought that was a pretty cool mechanic. It has a lean left, lean right, which was not used at all because it's not needed. No, that was unfortunate. Throughout the story, being able to lift object and throw them, literally, you did it once. Literally. Interacting with stuff, you got to use an inventory. You climb a lot, sprinting. It's cool that it's realistic that they added it in, but it's kind of annoying. But when you sprint for too long, you'll fall and you'll start crawling like a baby. Which, once again, it's pretty cool that they have it in there. Pretty annoying, but that's that really depends on your point of view. I personally liked it, even though it was very annoying. But the gameplay of the game, it's pretty much just go from point A to point B because there's no horror elements, unfortunately. There's no real scary parts of the game. Really scary parts of the game, jump scares or anything like that, where you have to, worry about dying or losing. Well, actually, there was two or three parts where you actually were like, "Oh my God, no! I could die possibly," or something like that. And once again, that rarely happens in the game. It was one or two parts, and I'm not even sure. I'm gonna say one was even a glitch, just because I couldn't recreate it. But whatever. Outside that, The gameplay of the game, I mean, it's pretty basic, it's pretty simple, nothing too complex.
Here we are.
You pretty much just
See what's inside.
move from point A to point B, probably interact with a few things, and then, you know, move on. Online, there is none. Graphics are okay. At least with the atmosphere and the environment, I believe the graphics. I don't really like how his mom looks and how the teddy bear looks. I think it's just the mom with the eyes. That's about it. But outside that, I do like the atmosphere of the game and the graphics for it. I thought that was pretty cool. Moving on to because here's the part where they are, you know, teaching you how to play the game about crawling and everything like that. And this is when the game just introducing the first stages of it. And I thought it was really cool how they did this. How, you know, you can pull out stuff and climb on it, and those graphics right there. Those clothes, yeah, dresser graphics, rah.
Hey, you found me.
Like, I don't think this game was meant for adults.
Teddy. Nice to meet you.
I think this game was meant for younger children. Like 12 or something like that. Cause like right here, like, oh, here's another part with the game mechanics. Like when you pause, the kid covers his eyes like he's scared. And they never did anything with like that. Like there was no parts where you'll be chasing something, you'll close your eye, you'll pause the game, so to speak, and then unpause, and then it's away because, you know, you closed your eyes or anything like that. There's no parts where you maybe closed your eyes, and then when you open them, there was something in your face for like a jump scare. That was another feature of the gameplay they never used. So it was cool, but they didn't do anything with it. And
You can look now.
I thought that was gonna be really cool. Once again, they never did anything with it. But as you can see here, he hid something, and literally the bear's walking away where he hid it. So I was pretty obvious. I don't know who that was for.
Is that the music box? Does it work?
But whatever. Moving on to the bad. Let's see. The story was bad. There's no. It's not horror. The scare, like the horror elements. There is like great atmosphere, but that's about it. Music intensifies and then nothing happens. So that's cool, because you know, you be walking and then the music intensifies like something's gonna happen, but nothing happens. And it does this several times where music just gets more intense and nothing happens. But it was short, 1 hour and like I think 20 minutes is how long it took me to do it.
5:30. Upon a drive.
Didn't use horror elements. Didn't use all of its some of his gameplay, or at least controls, were not even used, and if so, once.
Unless we reach water with our
I felt the game was too dark, but that could just be the brightness on my screen, and turning up the gamma didn't really help. It just made it worse. So I'm gonna say that's probably a fault of my own. Game was really disappointing and unfortunate, because I was really looking forward to playing this game.
Oh.
So we're just gonna move on. Should you buy this game? I'm gonna say no. Rent it, borrow it.
Carry me on your
If you can rent it, borrow it. Wait until it's on Steam for $1.
some.
Oh, this game was disappointing. Just don't buy it. Especially, it's like 15 bucks on PSN. That is way overpriced. Wait until it's on sale for like $1. Don't buy this for 15 bucks. You will be disappointed, just like I was. It was a shout out to Gamerholics for giving me this game for free, so I don't feel that bad for spending money on it. But yeah,
This will do nicely.
just don't buy it. And if you really, once again, if you really want to play this game, I think $5 is probably the most I would probably spend on it. Yeah, probably $5 is probably the most. Even then, I feel like I would be a little cheap out of it.
Something's coming.
There you are.
But that's actually the review of my review of the game. Not really a positive one, but once again, not every game could get good, amazing, good reviews. Unfortunately, some games are bad. Moving on to the trophy review of the game, pretty easy. Once again, it's a very small game, so there's not much to. It's not all that hard. You have complete Among the Sleep, which is just beating the game. You have strike, knock down all the bowling pins. At the beginning of the game, there's some bowling pins. You just get the ball. I don't even think you need to use a bowling ball, but you just gotta knock them all down. Bad Lullaby. You just gotta play the Bad Lullaby, which is done, I believe, in the closet chapter at the beginning. You can easily get that through chapter select. Find and play all the instruments in the game. I got this by accident. There's only 2 of them. I believe they're all in the first chapter. And then there's the collectibles, which are drawings. There's drawings in the house, drawings in the cave, drawing in the forest, drawing in the closet, drawings on the prologue, and then collecting all the drawings in the game. Pretty self-explanatory. There's kind of a lot, at least in the first chapter, and then in the later ones, they kind of get less, and then they get back to having a lot in the prologue and in the closet and everything like that. But once again, you can easily go and get them through chapter select if you don't necessarily get them on your first playthrough, because once again, there's kind of a lot of them. But that's pretty much the review and trophy review of Among the Sleep. Of course, you can watch my full playthrough of it on my YouTube. Link will be in the description, and then there's also the prologue, which I found out after I beat the game that was there, and now definitely be in the description below in case you want to watch that and hear me kind of not say anything positive about the game while I play it. But outside that, once again, this is A Demonic Wizard on Twitch, ADemonicShadow for literally everything else, and I'll see you, I don't know, next stream, next review, next podcast, whatever I have next planned. But until then, I do want to thank you for watching, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever time it is.